when that was rough. Yeah, yeah. Tell me your story. How did you make your dreams come true? Yeah. You're so strong. I wanna be strong. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. 'Cause you're so strong. I wanna be so strong. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. When I grow old, when I grow old, yeah. When I grow old, when I grow old. Tell me your story. How did you find your peace alive? Yeah, oh yeah. Who made your heart smile and made you lose a track of time? Yeah. Do you think I will by your side all day and night? Someone to care about and do you right. You still wrote your story when nobody believed in you. Yeah. You're so strong. I wanna be strong. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. 'Cause you're so strong. I wanna be so strong. I wanna be just like you. I wanna be just like you. When I grow old, when I grow old, when I grow old, when I grow old.
Don't wait for opportunity. Create opportunity. Create it. And that's what you're doing right now. You showed up for your yoga. Who's in charge here anyway? You are. You are in charge. If something's going to happen, you're going to make it happen. So why not make it happen? And what you're going to make happen today is a stronger, a more flexible, a more mobile you. And all will happen in 1 hour. That's how long our practice is. Stick around for the whole hour, or maybe you only do 10 minutes. It's up to you. You know, you decide, because you're in charge of you. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is where you do it your way. You do it your way. It's a no judgment zone. Most importantly, don't judge you. Do what you can with what you got, and what you got is good enough. Truly, it is all good. We practice every single day for 1 hour long. Every practice is different. Every day is different. I promise you that. Today, in our Wednesday practice, we stay all on the ground most of the time. Sometimes we throw in some balancing, but today it's going to be all on the ground. You can do it. Yes, you can. You can always do it. You can always do every one of our practices because you modify it. You make it work for you. You make it work for your body. You don't hurt your body. You do what is right for your body, as the bottom of the screen says. If it hurts, you back out of it. You take it to a lesser percentage. Don't do it at all. Give yourself permission. You're in charge of you. Remember that. If it doesn't work for you, it's not meant to be. Some things don't work for everybody. I can't do a lot of things, and I just let it go. I try a little bit here and there, but then I can't do it. But you just got to give it a go, give it a try, and let everything else go. All right. So you're down on your mat, grab your props, your blocks, your towel, your eye shade, some water, whatever works. This is gonna work. It's gonna work, trust me. Wear whatever you got on and just have fun. Here's a word to think about today. The word is empower, and that means to enable, and you are able. Enable yourself to give power. You are the boss of you. Empower yourself to do the practice. Don't quit, don't give up, just hang with it. You got your props, Let's lock in a stress number in our mind. We do this every day on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What are you feeling right now? Maybe it's in your head, maybe it's in your body. Just give it a number, quick number, and let's come into a child's pose. All right, got to slow down before you can speed up. So let's come into a child's pose. So you're going to just get into your body here. Knees together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels if you like. A block can help you here by bringing the ground up to you. Rest your head on the block, or maybe no block at all. You rest your head on your mat. Arms long down by your sides, shoulders away from your ears, palms up. This is a classic child's pose. I'm going to take a wide-legged child's pose. It's an option. It's an option. Start to execute your options and your choices here. Knees open wide, big toes, or big bottom goes back to the heels. And then you can bring your head down to your block and rest here with your arms reaching long. That feels pretty good. Or maybe bring your head down to your mat. You can reach your arms long to the top of the mat. You could even use a block or two at the top of your mat if you want, and place your hands on them. So lots of ways to get into the pose. Lots of ways to rest in your child's pose, a pose of surrender. And think of surrendering to yourself. Just give in to yourself, nothing else. You're just going to rest here for a little bit. Stretching the knees, the quadriceps, the ankles, the shoulders, and most importantly, the spine. Tailbone going to the back of the room, crown of the head going to the front. Take some deep breaths in through your nose, and a few big sighing breaths out through your mouth. Make it audible. Nobody's around. Just do it. Let it go. So tailbone to the back of the room, crown of the head to the front. Think of your spine as being really long. Let the outside world go. I think that's the hardest part. We're trying to focus this week on just being in the present moment. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Just enjoy this time right here, right now. Breathe in. Really fill the lungs up. Really feel your back expand. And exhale. Really imagine the belly button going back to touch your spine as you hollow out your belly. Child's pose. What a great pose. Maybe you stay here as long as you like. You don't have to come out of it. But what I'd encourage you to do is maybe try to close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. This lets you further focus inward, which is right where you want to be. Stay here longer if you like. I'm going to come out of this pose and come into a Sukhasana pose. That's that seated pose where you crisscross your legs. So stay in your child's pose longer if it's speaking to you. Give yourself that permission. I'm going to sit comfortably. At least it's comfortable for me. I don't know what's comfortable for you. Find what's comfortable for you. All right, I'm going to crisscross my legs. You can sit with your legs crisscrossed. That could be a big enough of a challenge today. I'm going to bend my left leg, and I'm going to bring my left foot up on top of my right thigh. I'm going to slip a block under my left knee just to support it there. Blocks are great. They bring the ground up to you. There's no need for that leg to hang out in space if it doesn't feel good. You could put a block underneath it or get one of those half-size blocks. We talk about those too. So maybe as your practice continues and things become looser and you're more flexible and more mobile, maybe you want to go to a smaller block to allow the knee to come down more. Totally up to you. Do what feels comfortable. You could also take that bottom foot, the right foot, and bring it on up and place it on top of the left inner thigh. I'm going to bring my hands down to my knees. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to sit up nice and straight. Breathe in, breathe out. With each exhale, soften the shoulders a little bit more. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. And just move your neck. Circle your neck around on your shoulders. Maybe move it left, maybe move it right. Eyes can be open or closed, so many options. You know, if you close your eyes, it allows you to get more into the movement and you're not distracted by things in your vision. But if you've got things like vertigo going on, maybe you want to keep the eyes open. If you got the eyes open, do a little bit of eye yoga too. Just really try to look over your shoulder when you turn your head. And then get back to just moving your head to whatever feels good. Just find your neck mobility. Maybe chin tuck to the chest and then chin up to the sky. Left, right, maybe circle your head on your shoulders. Just basically move your neck. So important. And as you're ready, finish up. Bring your head back to the midline. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Shrug them back to the back wall and then bring them down. So up, back, and down. So just move them. Move your shoulders. Let them feel good. We're going to get into the shoulders a little bit more when we get into our thread the needle pose. All right, let's finish up here. Let your arms come down by your sides and then lift your hands up. Let your arms float up and then do some little arm circles to the back of the room. You draw the arm circles however large you want them to be. Keep your chest lifted, gaze forward, arm circles, other direction. Breathe. Maybe sigh it out occasionally. Don't be a slave to that Ujjayi pranayama breath with the lips closed. You breathe however is right for you. All right, now I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to bend one arm, hug that elbow in by my ear. Just a little pat on the back as you stretch out the tricep of the arm. Other pat on the back, bend that elbow, hug that elbow in. Just a little pat on the back. All good. Tee out your arms again. Time for a big hug. One arm on top of the other. Let the arms crisscross at the midline of your body. Take your hands, reach your fingers towards your spine, nice and tight here. Let your shoulders release away from your ears, and then let the shoulders drive towards the sides of your room. Nice tight hug here. Maybe eyes closed or open, your call. Remember which arm is on top. Now tee out your arms one more time. Drive the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Rehug yourself. Another hug with the opposite arm on top. Hands toward your spine. Shoulders away from the ears. And then expand the shoulders to the sides of the room for your second big hug of the day. Maybe it's your third or fourth big hug of the day. I don't know. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Release your hands. And then walk them forward, slide them forward, walk them forward, and just rest here. Oh, big stretch. All right, breathe here, look down toward your ankles, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Feel it in your backside. Walk your hands a little further forward, maybe press into your hands a little bit more, keeping your bottom cheeks down on the mat. Breathe. Maybe walk a little further forward, maybe press into the earth a little bit more. Keep your bottom cheeks on the ground. Breathe. How about one more time? Can you walk your hands a little further forward? Push into your hands. Keep your bottom cheeks on the ground. Look back toward your belly button and breathe. Big stretch. For me, I'm really feeling it in my left glutes. Walk your hands slowly back up. Come on up to seated, shoulders over your hips. Sweep your arms back like little kickstands. Maybe you're up on your fingertips. And then lift your chest up to the sky. Chin is lifted too. Take a couple of breaths here. Soften in the jaws, soften in the shoulders. How does it feel? All right, let's finish. Bring your shoulders back over your hips and uncurl your legs, however you're seated. I don't know, maybe you had your legs long. Maybe that feels better because a bend in the knees doesn't feel so great. Just switch your legs out a little bit. Maybe put a little bit of a bend in them. Take it nice and slowly. Bring the other leg on top if you wish to join me in that pose. Maybe you're still enjoying your child's pose. That's good too. Use that block under the knee if you want to slip it under there. Maybe bring the opposite foot on up onto the opposite leg. Hands on your knees, lengthen up. And exhale, soften up. Why do we say soften up? Maybe you should be softened down. Let your shoulders come down. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. You're feeling good and you're feeling better. You're getting more flexible and more mobile. Let's work on the neck. Left to right with the neck. Up and down, circle around, eyes open or closed. Maybe kick it up a notch with the twist of the neck by turning the neck. Let's say we turn it to the left. Then take your left hand and your 2 fingers and place them on the outside of your right cheekbone, of your jawbone. And then turn your head a little bit more. Those 2 fingers, nice and gentle, can encourage the head even more to take that twist to the left. The other shoulder, the right shoulder, let it be soft and away from your ear. So that's just a little option. Finish on that side whenever you're ready. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Lift that same hand to which side the head is turning. Place it on the outside of the jawbone on the other side. So for me right now it's the left side. Taking the right hand, 2 peace fingers and twisting. Those 2 peace fingers really make a difference, don't they? So when they feel that stretch is nice and good, bring your hands back down to your knees and then just move your head a little bit more. Chin to the chest, don't forget that movement. And we're going to repeat that movement, chin to chest and chin to the sky, when we do our cat-cow in a little bit. Head right, head left, neck circles, just loosen up in the neck. All right, when you're ready, back to the midline of your body. Shoulder shrugs, up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. A few more, let it feel good. Just move. All right, we'll finish up. Tee out your arms. Time for some arm circles. Draw little circles on the sides of your walls. Maybe make the circles even bigger or smaller, whatever feels good in your shoulders. Maybe a little bend in your elbows feels good. Maybe you're like washing the windows with your palms toward the side of the room with your fingers up. Maybe that feels better. Take your arm circles in the other direction. Just get some movement going. That's the ticket. Just move. All right, arm circles are done there. Let's do the pat on the back. So lift your arms up to the sky, bend one elbow. Using the other hand, hug that elbow in, and then just pat yourself on the back. We need more pats on the back, don't we? All right, arms lift up again, bend the other elbow, hug that elbow in, and pat yourself on the back again. Nice stretch of your triceps, the back of the arm. Let's tee out our arms. Tee out your arms. Let the backs of the hands reach to the back of the room. Give yourself a big hug. One arm crosses over the other. Fingers reach toward your spine. Shoulders come away from your ears. Expand through the shoulders to the sides of your room. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice, tight, big hug. Let's take it to the other side. Arms tee out. Let the backs of the hands go to the back of the room like that You will look taller pose that we do some days. Crisscross the arms in front of the body. Hug tightly, squeeze tightly, release. Think of the neck being really super long and the shoulders are down. Then expand the shoulders out towards the side of the room. Kind of like, Hercules. You really want to stretch your shoulders to the side of the room. Breathe. And let it go. There's your big hug. Let's take a forward fold. Here we go. Oh, you're going to feel this one. Take your hands, walk them forward to what is comfortable for you. Hands can be down on the mat, and you could use that block. That's fine too, because I always think of the block as bringing the ground up to you. If the ground seems too far away, use the block. So I'm going to walk my hands a little bit forward, keeping both bottom cheeks down on the mat. I'm going to look toward my ankles or the edge of my mat, push into my mat as if I'm going to slide the mat forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your hands a little more forward. Press into your hands. Keep your bottom cheeks down. Look down towards your ankles, your belly button. Just feel that big good stretch in those right glutes. Walk the hands a little more forward if you're ready. If you want to, you're in charge of you. Press into the ground. Ooh, that makes a difference. It helps you keep your bottom cheeks down too. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Should we go for it? Walk the hands a little further forward, maybe. It's up to you. Your call. You're in charge. You're the boss of you. Press into your hands. Breathe. Slowly walk the hands on back towards your body as you bring your shoulders over your hips. Sweep your hands back, little bit of a kickstand, chest lifts up, and your chin goes up too. Think of doing your cow pose, right? With the chin going up. We'll do cat-cow in a little bit. Breathe. And then finish. Slowly bring your shoulders back over your hips. Nice job. You really worked the hips and you kind of didn't even realize it because you were doing those other things with your shoulders and your arms, but it's all good. All right, let's come out of this and let's do that cat-cow pose. So cat-cow, great pose for your spine. You want to awaken your spine. So let's do it. Come to a neutral tabletop. In your neutral tabletop, you know this, knees are under your hips, shoulders are over your wrists, press into your hands, let your fingers be spread wide. Tops of your feet are on your mat. Think of a nice flat back as you lengthen in the tailbone and the crown of the head. Push into the earth, cat-cow pose. Marry it to your breath. Take a big exhale and then tuck your chin to your chest and your tailbone under as you arch your back up to the sky. Inhale, cow, just the opposite. Crown of your head lifts, chin goes forward, and your tailbone lifts too. I think that's the best part, feeling it in the tailbone here. Keep at it. Exhale, cat. Push the earth away. Don't forget your feet can push into the mat too. Inhale, cow. Okay, keep at it. Cat, cow. Loving it. You know, maybe your practice today was maybe you did child's pose and now you're going to move to cat-cow. You know, what works for you? That's what you got to do. What does your body need? Listen to your body. Move it, listen to it, respond to its needs, and have fun in the process. All right, there's your cat-cow. Let's finish up cat-cow. Let's do a little active bird dog, all right? So here's your bird dog pose. We do this lots of different ways and different days. Let's begin by, from this neutral tabletop, lift your right leg up. Bring your knee a little bit higher so it's at about hip height. Maybe circle your ankle here a couple different ways. Then extend your right leg long. Draw the toes towards your shins. Hold it here. Press into the earth. Keep your hips equidistant to the mat. Lengthen through your left arm. Reach forward. You can add in these layers or don't do any of the layers at all. Maybe you've just got the right leg bent a little bit. All right, so we can hold it here. And then let's touch elbow to knee and then reach. And then plant the hand, plant the knee, take it to the other side. Reach, stretch as best you can, same way with the leg extended, toes drawn toward the shins, arm reaching. You decide how you want to do this. Elbow to knee, reach, place it down, other side. Maybe reach, elbow to knee, reach, place it down. You decide how you want to do this. Maybe you want to skip elbow to knee. Maybe you want to just lift one leg, then the other. Just keep at it. Add in the layers as you like. Maybe you want to just reach through one, reach through the other. Maybe you want to make it fancy. A reach and a tuck, then the other side, a reach and a tuck. You decide what feels best for you today. Just flow through it a little bit. Get moving, get the blood flowing. Kind of give each side a little bit of equal time. If you do it on one side, do it on the other. And then let's finish for a moment. Tuck the right toes under and do bird dog here with the right toes tucked under. So left leg lifts and extends, right arm reaches. Maybe tuck, reach. The only difference here is you got the toes tucked under. Switch it to the other side. Left toes are gonna tuck, and I'm gonna do bird dog on this side. So kind of in preparation for our toes pose, right? So same thing, reach, maybe elbow to knee a few times, but with the opposite foot, the foundational foot, tucked under, something a little different. But you know what? Let's go back to our classic bird dog. Bring the tops of the feet onto the mat. Reach one last time, right arm, left leg long, draw the toes to the shin, press into the earth, hold it. Hand down, knee down, other side. Right leg lifts, knee to hip height, leg extends, toes drawn toward the shins, hips equal distant. Reach and stretch through the left arm, hold it. And finish. Both knees down, both knees spread wide, hips back to the heels as the big toes touch, arms reach long to the top of the mat, bring your shoulder on down, your chest on down. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, you got your blood flowing in your bird dog pose. It is a practice, it's all on the mat, but you're gonna get your blood flowing. All right, so think about activity and movement. They're the keys to happiness, so keep at it, just enjoy your yoga, enjoy your poses. All right, neutral tabletop. Let's do thread the needle, we talked about that. Lift your right arm up to the sky, twist here, look up towards your right hand. Exhale, let the right arm come down. Sheesh, Piper's moving funny. Move your right arm underneath the left, come down to the right shoulder. If it doesn't quite make it, bring the ground up to you with your block. Adjust your hips. Everybody's height is different. The right arm is reaching to the left side of your body. Your shoulder is down either on the block or on the mat. Reach your left arm long to the top of your mat. Adjust your bottom and feel this in the shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out to what feels good for you. Maybe Ujjayi, pranayama breath with the lips closed, or maybe you're sighing it out. Feel the goodness in the shoulder, and let's finish. Slide the left hand under the left shoulder, right arm lifts up to the sky, twist, look up. How does it feel? Let's take the right hand down. Let's do the other side. Left arm, lift it up and twist and look up. Exhale, bring that left arm under the right. This is the threading the needle part. Right arm reaches to the top of the mat, left shoulder comes down, you're on your left cheek. Stretch and reach, so your arms are kind of like in the shape of a letter L. Stretch them, reach them in your thread the needle pose. Breathe. Let's do it again, now that you know how to do this. Neutral tabletop. Right arm lifts, look up. Exhale, thread the needle. Left arm reaches, right shoulder touches down on the mat, bringing your arms into like the shape of a letter L on the ground. Adjust your hips, your knees, whatever works. Come out of the pose, sweep the arm up, up, up to the sky, look up. Don't you feel like you have more shoulder mobility already? Neutral tabletop, left side, left arm lifts, look up to the hand. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm down, right arm reaches, left cheek on the mat. Breathe. You got it, you can do it. Use those blocks if you want to. Slide the right hand under the shoulder, left arm reaches up, 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 and you look up, up, up. Exhale, come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do a cycle of cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift. Find your 2 yoga blocks. Let's do a toes pose, ankle pose, flow. We're gonna flow through it, we're gonna move it. We're gonna move through the pose, but let it be comfortable to you. Tuck your toes to your shins, like we did in that bird dog pose. Your toes got awakened. Sit back on your heels, blocks by your sides. You can stay right here. You don't have to have the blocks. You could have your hands at prayer center. You could put your hands on your thighs. You decide how you want it to be. Here's the flow part. Gonna feel the goodness in the feet, settle into the feet, feel what you feel, allow that feeling to feel good. Then we're gonna come out of it. We're gonna untuck our toes, tops of the feet on the mat, and have a seat on the tops of your feet. Using your blocks, keep your knees together, don't let them spread too far apart. Keep your knees together, press into the blocks or into the earth, and lift your knees on up as you balance on the tops of your feet. All right, you know how to do it now. Let's flow through it. Your pace, your way. What feels good for you today? Do you need to stretch out the fascia in your feet and your toes in your toes pose? Or do you want to stretch the ankles a little bit more, placing the tops of your feet on your mat and going back and stretching the ankles? So you're strengthening your foundation. Such an important thing to do, building strength here in your feet and your ankles. I'm going to flow through this and I'm going to challenge my balance a little bit. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer center and not use my blocks. And flow through it here. And maybe you're thinking, I don't want to use the blocks, but I don't quite want to keep my hands at prayer center. Well, use your hands. Use them. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. I'm just guiding you through some options. You execute the option that speaks best to you. Try to close my eyes. That's a real challenge. Closing the eyes and finding the balance here. You can do it. Just try. Every little bit, something new. Every little bit of a challenge is good for our brains, right? All right. Are we done with our toes pose, ankle flow? All right, now one of the things we always do is we take a stress number in the beginning of our practice. I'm gonna do it one more time. We always take a stress number in the beginning of the practice. So whenever you work the body, you're also working the mind. You're getting that blood flowing to the brain. It's so good for us. So activity and movement are the keys to happiness, and the happiness is linked to your brain, and when you move in your body, you're getting happier. It's all good. All right, let's finish up here. Come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet on up. Circle the ankles. Squish and squeeze the toes together, and then tap the feet out on the tap your tops of your feet out on your mat. All right, next thing we're going to do is a plank. We do a plank just about every day. We set a 1-minute timer for you to assess your progress if you want to. Disregard the timer if you don't care, if you don't want to time it, but it's totally for you. Lots of different plank variations you can take. We've talked about them. You can lie on your back, send your arms up to the sky, and imagine like the ceiling is the ground, and just push into the ceiling. And just imagine that you're in a plank. It all starts in the head, right? Another variation, that neutral tabletop, maybe send your knees a little further apart, walk your hands more forward, and then hinge the weight into your arms. Fingers are spread wide always, pressing a little more weight into your thumb and your pointer finger to ease some of the tension on your wrists, and then hinge the weight forward. Oh, you really feel this. Bend your elbows a little bit and hold there for that variation of a plank. You could also ball your hands into fists if your wrists are a little bit uncomfortable, and take it there. You could also fold your mat in half a couple of times and create extra padding there. Lots of ways to take it. Take some variation of a plank. Another option would be to come down to your forearms, staying on your knees or not, elbows under your shoulders. Tucking your toes under is an option. We've done that a lot today. Maybe press on up and hold in your dolphin plank. High plank is always an option as well. Shoulders over wrists, legs long on your mat, hinging the weight forward, pressing into the earth, and maintaining a nice flat plank shape. I'm going to take a bear plank today, also known as a crouching tiger. To do that, I like to shake it up and do different ones. I know you might have a favorite variation, but shake it up and do different ones because it does different things in your body and in your head. For a bear plank, I'm going to come from a neutral tabletop, tuck my toes under, and I'm going to lift my knees up and hold here. Let's start the timer, please. Here we go. 1 minute. All right. I hope you're in the variation of plank that you chose today, that you like, and think, all right, I can do this. Yes, I can. I can do it because I'm empowered, I'm capable, I'm able. I'm hovering my knees above my mat, but I'm finding alignment in my arms, having my shoulders over my wrists. We are 20 seconds in. You've got this. So I got a little bit of a toes pose going on too. Breathe. Knees are hovered above the earth. I'm going to shake them a little bit. Push into the earth. Don't quit. Don't give up. Stay strong. Lengthen through your spine. If you want to take a little break, you could drop to your knees for a moment or two. If you're in a high plank, you could send your hips high and come to a down dog. We've just got 15 seconds to go. Find your strength. Find your inner strength. Your body's plenty strong. It can do more than you think. It's the mind you got to conquer for these last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. You got it. Come on down. How did you do? You did great. Whatever you did was good because you showed up and you tried. Good on you. Grab a drink if you want. Let's go into our core series. All right. We usually do 3 little poses for our core sequence. Little variation today because you got to shake it up and do something different. All right, so this is a little more Pilates-like, but that's all right, right? Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through your spine. Come to recline. Now, you might want to bring your strap if you want to use that for your boat pose. We'll talk about that when we get there, but just have it up near your shoulders. Hands to prayer center. Come on down to recline. All right, whenever we put our hands in prayer center, think of, we talk about a mantra, a positive statement that you say about yourself. So think about something positive about you. Maybe I'm empowered, I'm capable, I'm able. All right. Once you're down, let's bring our arms down by our sides and let's lift our shoulders up a little bit and start to do single knee hug-ins. Maybe hug one knee in, then the other. Maybe you want to keep your shoulders down. That's fine. Hug one knee in, then the other. It's all good. Maybe as you hug one knee in, the extended leg, you lift it up off the ground. Not too bad, right? Hug the one knee in, interlaced fingers under the knee. Hug and extend. Hug, alternate, extend. You got it. There's your single knee hug in. Your hips are loving you. You woke up your hips in that Sukhasana pose, and oh, especially when we reached forward. Oh my goodness. Good job. All right, single knee hug-ins. Let's take it to double knee hug-ins. Legs long, hug them both in. Legs long, hug them both in. Keeping your neck straight. You don't want to look at your knees so much. You want to keep your neck straight and in line with your spine. Extend. Hug them in, extend. Hug them in. How you doing? Are you having fun yet? Your core is strong. You got this. All right. Let's send the legs long. Bring them on down to your mat. Bring your shoulders down too. Now, for boat pose today. Lots of ways you can take it. I said you could do it with a strap. Do it any way you want, right? I'm gonna press on up to my forearms. Gonna have my elbows under my shoulders. I'm gonna lift my legs up and hold them here. Breathe. You can put a bend in your knees. Maybe that feels good. Or maybe you're using your strap. If you're using your strap, place the strap under the centers of your feet. Lean on back and lift your legs on up. Totally fine variation. Maybe you say, today is the day. I'm gonna lift my legs, not using my arms. Maybe hands behind your knees, that's an option. Or I'm just gonna hold on here. Legs can be straight. You decide. Shoulders are back, back is flat. Hold on with your strong core. Take different variations. Yesterday when we did this, we also rode the boat by dipping one elbow to one side and the other. Maybe that's what you want to do. You decide. I'm going to bend my knees now, come out of this pose. Going to crisscross at the ankles, plant my hands on my mat, and come into a downward facing dog. In a down dog, we do this a lot. Feet are hip width distance apart. Heels slightly elevated. Look to your hands. They should be shoulder width distance apart. Gecko finger grip. Breathe. Tailbone high to the sky. Crown of your head toward the earth. Shake your neck. Breathe. Decompress the spine. Let your neck be heavy as you decompress the neck. Breathe. Finish. Still your feet. Kick your right leg high to the sky and then sweep it through to a low lunge. Come down onto your back left knee, right knee over left knee. Grab your two blocks. Send your left leg back long and straight on your mat. You can keep the blocks here. You can come off of the blocks as you bring your shoulders over your hips. Totally up to you as you take your lunge. Arms can lift. Hands can reach to the back of the room. Hands can come back to prayer center as your shoulders are over your hips. You're just working that left hip flexor. Let's start to straighten the right leg and rebend the right leg. You want to feel this in your left hip flexor. Breathe. That's the front of the left hip. Blocks can stay where they are. You can bring your bottom back to your heels. Stretch it here. Other days we walk the blocks back. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm just doing a nice stretch here to prepare us for our little dragonfly pose. All right, I'm going to go forward again, keeping the blocks and my hands glued together, and I'm going to bring my bottom back toward my heel. Doesn't have to touch, it's up to you. All right, let's finish. Let's send the right knee to meet the left. Let's go back to a down dog. Press into your hands, tuck your toes. Come on up to down dog. And if you don't want to do a down dog, send your knees wide and come into a child's pose. From this down dog, I'm going to pedal it. Then I'm going to kick my left leg high, and I'm going to bring that left foot forward down on the right knee and do my lunge here. Blocks by my side to bring the ground up to me as I send my right leg good and long, top of the foot on the mat, left knee over left ankle. Maybe press into the blocks, lift the shoulders up. Maybe hands to prayer center to stay, or arms lift up to the sky and reach to the back of the room. Hands back to prayer center, hands to the blocks maybe, and then start to surf. A little bit of surfing or a lot of surfing, it's your call. I'm going to now keep my hands on the blocks, pressing into the blocks, really straightening that left leg, really bending the right, and coming back to sit on my right heel or close to it. Then surf forward. I'm going to move my blocks a little bit and come on back. Bottom onto my heel, maybe, maybe not. You decide. All right, yesterday's practice, we did a Ekapada Rajakapotasana, half pigeon pose. Do the same thing today, but I'm going to show you a variation that you can remember for when we do a half pigeon, classic half pigeon pose, and you think, oh, I don't want to do that on my knees. You can always do the reclined half pigeon. That's what we're going to do next. All right, let's come out of this pose. Bring knee to meet knee, move your blocks, come on down to your back. All right, that's always good, right? Come on down, maybe hands to prayer center, recline here. How are you feeling? You got a lot of mobility in your hips now, don't you? Let's continue with that. All right, for your reclined half pigeon pose. Okay, let's bend our knees, soles of the feet on your mat. Lift your right leg up. I'll talk you through all this so you can just close your eyes and enjoy it. Lift your right leg up, place the outside of the right ankle on top of the left thigh. So you've created like a figure 4 here in your legs. Press your hands into your inner right thigh as you allow the outside of the right knee to go toward the bottom of the mat. So there's your figure 4. All right. You can lift your left leg up. You can remove the hands from your thigh. Lift your left leg up so your left foot comes off of the mat. And your left knee, draw it more toward your chest. As you're drawing the left knee toward your chest, the outside of the right knee, you're still driving to the bottom of your mat. Hold it here. Hands can help. You can take your hands, you can interlace your fingers behind your thigh on the hamstrings and pull it in. Maybe interlaced fingers, or maybe you use a little hand towel. You know, if you just can't reach, fingers just can't reach, use your hand towel behind your knee and pull it in. Pull it in. I'm going to interlace my fingers and hug it in, but I'm not going to forget my right knee. I'm going to keep driving that toward the bottom of the mat. Whew, I feel that in my right glutes, don't you? All right, here's another variation. Right now that you got those interlaced fingers underneath the knee, behind the knee, you can switch it up to kick it up a notch. You can interlace your fingers or use your towel on your calf, bringing the towel or interlaced fingers high on your shin, just beneath the left knee. Hug it in, squeeze it in, and don't forget the outside of the right knee. Drive it to the bottom of the mat. All these little refinements help you feel the pose differently, don't they? Now I'm going to draw my right toes, the one on top, Send those toes toward the shin. Oh, I feel my calf tighten up there. Draw the toes toward the shin. Keep hugging the knee in and driving the knee to the bottom of the mat. And then my foot on the top, the one that feels like it's nice and straight, I'm going to send it 4 or 6 inches to the left side of the room. That's going to allow me to work on that piriformis muscle, that teeny little muscle inside and underneath your gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. That little teeny muscle that runs horizontally. It's like almost like the shape of a pencil, and that's in there in your glutes. This allows you to stretch it even more. All right, that's one side. Let's do the other. Bring your left foot down, bring the right foot down. You got both feet on the mat. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Think about what you're doing. Lift the left leg up, outside of the left ankle on the right thigh. Press the inner left thigh open. Maybe this is where you decide to stay and you say, this is what I want to do today, so stay here. Breathe. Keep pushing that inner left thigh open. The outside of the left knee is the one we're going to be talking about. Send it to the bottom of your mat. Nice and open in the hips. Let's start to kick it up a notch or two by lifting the right foot up, drawing the right knee closer to the chest, while the outside of the left knee goes to the bottom of the mat. Hold it, squeeze it tight. Remember, one leg's doing one thing, the right knee's trying to come closer to your chest, and the left knee's trying to go away toward the bottom of the mat. Hands or towel can be placed low on the hamstring. Hug it in, squeeze it in, and stay right here. Breathe. All of these layers are challenging. You meet the challenge right where you are. Every one of these, from crossing the knee over to the first ankle, all the way through to working that piriformis, they're all difficult levels. All right, let's take our hands now. I'm going to interlace them beneath my knee, high on the shin of the right leg. Use your towel if you want. Keep your shoulders down. Keep hugging that right knee in, driving the left knee away, away, away. Hold it here, you got it. Big muscles in the glutes. And the fun thing about this next thing we're going to do for the piriformis, you can kind of feel it firing. I know you're thinking about, oh, draw this foot in, draw that ankle in, but if you just feel what you feel in your backside, you kind of feel that muscle activate. It's kind of a neat feeling because you don't feel it very often. So let's kind of focus on the sensation, shall we? All right, draw your left toes toward your shin. Really hug the right knee in and drive the left knee away. Hug it in good and tight. You're really strong here, really tight. Now think about it for a second and then we'll do it. The left foot, the one on top, nice and flat. We're going to think of sending it 4 or 6 inches or whatever toward the side of the wall. As you do that, feel what you feel on your backside. Are you ready? Let's give it a go. And you can feel it. Squeeze. You got it? Hug it tight. And then let's finish. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down. What'd you think? That's your alternative, your option to your half pigeon pose. Shake it up, try different ones, and see what works for you. Especially if your knees are bothersome in half pigeon, that's a great variation to do that reclined half pigeon. Arms down by your sides, send your hips up to the sky. Breathe here in your bridge pose. Walk your heels up closer to your bottom. Lift your hips even higher. Soften in your glutes. That's the challenge. And then slowly lower your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Nice work. Send your legs long onto your mat. Come on up to a seated position. Maybe you use your arms or no arms at all. Bring your 2 blocks by your side. Send your legs wide, a wide-legged forward fold. Put your blocks on your side. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to do a half dragonfly. Maybe you bring your hands down. Remember how we reached earlier when our legs were crisscrossed in the beginning? Reach them far here. You could always use a block to bring the ground up to you if that's what you want to do. You don't have to reach very far. We're not going to be here very long. Reach, 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 stretch, 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 and then finish. Shoulders over your hips. Bring your legs together at the midline. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bend the right knee or the left knee. You decide which side you want to start on. I'm going to bring the sole of the foot inside the opposite extended leg's thigh. Both, the right knee is down, the left leg is long, the left toes are drawn up toward the shin. 2 blocks on my side are going to be what I'm aiming for. You can put them at whatever height you like. All right, this leg that's bent, I'm going to place my forearm onto the block. I'm going to lift my opposite arm up, and I'm going to reach over my body, reach over the midline. The top shoulder is back. I'm reaching to the side. Then I'm going to come back up nice and slowly to the midline. I'm going to place the forearm down on the other block, lifting the opposite arm and reaching on this side. Shoulder back, chin away from the chest, a few times back and forth. Place the arm, lift the other arm, and reach. Back to center. Place the arm, reach the other arm, and reach. Maybe you adjust the height of your blocks. You decide. Keep your bottom cheeks down. Keep that knee down too. Then just stretch it out. Maybe a little bend in that extended knee feels better, and you don't have to go super far. Maybe you've got your blocks nice and high, and you're just resting like in an armchair and taking your stretches. All right, let's finish. Let's switch to the other side. So shoulders over your hips, straighten the opposite leg, bend the other one, bring the sole of the foot high up into the inner thigh, lengthen up maybe with, like an extended mountain arms, place an arm down on the blocks, reach the arm across the midline, back on up, other arm down, reach and stretch, shoulder back, chin away from your chest, adjusting your blocks to what feels great today. Up on the inhale, stretch it out on the exhale. Just breathe. Adjust your blocks as you want, or don't adjust them at all. Just take a little bit of a stretch from side to side and just focus on being stable and being steady. Because what's the saying? Steadiness and stability lead to tranquility. I'll take tranquility any day. All right, we'll even out on those sides. Let's finish up, shoulders over your hips. Let's bend both knees now. Now, one foot, bring the heel to the opposite hip crease. So really, really bend it if you want to. The other leg, I'm gonna bring it on top, and I'm gonna cross it over, but I'm gonna let the toes of the leg that's on top go to the front of the room. I'm gonna hug the knees in, lengthening up through the crown of my head, feeling it in my glutes. I'm gonna take my right leg is on top, so I'm gonna take my right hand and put it behind my low back like a little kickstand. I'm gonna twist in the shoulders. I'm gonna look over my shoulder. I'm gonna hug my left or my right knee with my left hand, and I'm gonna twist. Hold it, twist, and then finish back to center. Take a tiny little counter twist, and then let's switch out the legs. All right, so I'm gonna bend the opposite knee, and you don't have to bend your legs at all. If it doesn't feel good, don't bend the knees. Try a little, and if it's not right, come out of it. Top leg, I'm gonna hug that knee in. Toes are pointing forward. I'm gonna hug it in. I'm gonna stay right here. If your legs are long, totally fine. You can plant your hands on the two sides of your legs and do the twist. My left leg is on top, so my left arm is gonna be my kickstand now. I'm gonna lift up out of my chest, and I'm gonna take a little twist. Then I'm gonna twist in the other way. Then I'm gonna finish. I think I was a little quick on that side, so let's do it again. I'm gonna twist. Then I'm going to come out. I'm going to do a little bit of a counter twist and release. Okay, so that's seated twist. Hope that felt pretty good for you. All right, so let's remove, I'm going to remove my blocks. I'm going to come down onto my back, have my eye shade up near my shoulders, hands to prayer center. I am capable, I am able, I am empowered. Come all the way down to your mat. Bend your knees, let them fall to the right, and like a reclined deer, let them fall to the left. You can tee out your arms, send your gaze in the opposite direction of which your knees are going. When you're ready, finish up, bring your knees back to the midline of your body, send your legs long on your mat, and let's finish in a final Shavasana pose. Or I'm going to take a little different variation. For your final Shavasana pose, maybe you decide to cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Such a nice feeling to block out the light. Heels long on your mat, legs slightly spread, pinky toes fall to the edges of your mat. Arms can be down by your sides with your palms face up. Shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I want to finish in a pentacle pose today. It's similar to final Shavasana, but I'm going to spread my legs a little wider. And I'm going to take my arms from that Shavasana pose. I'm going to kind of snow angel them, you know, kind of bringing your arms up like a snow angel. Maybe you decide to bring them up a little bit, or tee them out, or bring them high overhead, bringing your body into a capital letter X shape. That feels good in my shoulders today. I don't know how it feels for you. Give it a go if you like. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften the area between the eyebrows. Let your body be heavy and your heart be light. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. You got your remote control nearby. Hit pause to stay in your pose as long as you like. And then when you're ready to resume, you can just unpause it and then join us back here on the mat. If it's time for you to conclude your practice, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and point your toes along to the bottom of the mat and stretch it out. And as you exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Low arms bicep is a pillow for your head. Top shoulder rests. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keeping the eyes closed if you want, your choice. Pressing on up with your hands or without, again, your choice. Just be conscious of your choices. Come to a comfortable seated position, whatever's comfortable for you today. Hands to prayer center, a moment of gratitude, a moment of thanks, a moment of your mantra again that you're going to remember throughout the day. I am empowered, I am capable, I am able. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up, and a deep breath out, soften up. Ta-da, you did it. Blink your eyes open. All right, stress number. Remember, moving your body makes you happy. You may not think it does when you start out, but moving your body makes you happier. Activity and movement are the keys to happiness. You took a stress number in the beginning. That's our little measurement criteria. What was it? And now what is it? Pretty good, huh? Your yoga works. It absolutely positively works. Join us every day for a different type of practice. Join us tomorrow on your mat. From us to you, have a lovely day. And think of these things, the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye. Hello, girl. See you later. Thanks for being here. You did another yoga practice and your body is feeling better for it. Feel what you feel in your body. Enjoy and appreciate what you got. And just show up every day and things will get better. You will feel better and life is good. It really is. All right. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. You know that. Tell your friends about it. Have them join in too. They can feel better and they will feel better. And if they feel better, they'll be more pleasant. And if they're more pleasant, they might just be a better friend. All right. They can check us out anytime they like. Facebook, YouTube, enjoy. If you'd like to support our broadcast, look at our website. It's www.316yoga.com. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're being faithful to your practice. See you on your mats tomorrow.